Hi, my name's Al Pannone. I'm the office manager and one of the associate directors at the early enrollment program at Rhode Island College. And today I'm putting out this video to help you get enrolled in the classes for EEP this year for the 2020-2021 school year. We usually do this by coming to the school directly and doing a big presentation in an auditorium or maybe even a cafeteria, but this year is a different type of year. And we're going to be getting you enrolled through other means. This video will be one of two. In this video, I want to focus specifically on getting you registered for your classes. So that will be my push. The other video that you'll be able to access will tell you about all of the benefits of the early enrollment program and reasons why it's a really great program for high school students. So let's talk about some of the vocabulary, some of the words and expressions you're going to hear in conjunction with your early enrollment program experience. You'll hear the terms concurrent enrollment and dual enrollment. And lately, students who have actually gone through the entire program and are looking to apply their transferable credits to another college will contact us and will say, I took dual enrollment in high school. You are not taking dual enrollment in high school. The dual enrollment means that you're actually coming to our campus, taking the classes there instead of doing it in your high school. It's much more convenient for you. You're taking concurrent enrollment classes. Concurrent meaning going on at the same time. That is, the class at your high school that you're taking is also taught on campus. It may not be in the same semester, but in our catalog, we have the same classes that you are taking at your high school on campus offered as well. So that's the difference. And you're going to hear this term, and I'd really like you to try and keep it in your mind. Concurrent enrollment at your school, dual enrollment, you come to the campus. And then, of course, there's AP. A lot of you are taking AP classes and may be actually in your EEP class and AP class at the same time because all of the students are put into that particular group for scheduling. And the difference between AP and EEP is that the EEP credits are guaranteed. You're going to be enrolled in the class, you're going to take the class for the semester or the entire year, and then at the end of the year, we're going to put in the data so that you will have a transcript and you can access those credits. If you come to Rhode Island College, you'll have a transcript as you come right in on campus with the credits already on there. Otherwise, you can ask for those to be transferred to another school of higher education, whether it's a college or university, whatever you want to call it, by requesting a transcript. And I'm going to address that at the very end. It's really simple to do. But one way or the other, these are guaranteed credits. You take the class, you do well, you get the credits. AP, you know that the entire course that you're taking for AP is centered around a final test. And depending on how well you do on that test, the credits would be awarded through a transfer counselor at the college where you're trying to have them applied to your program. They're not guaranteed. If you don't get a 3 or above on the test, then it usually ends up with no credit. So the difference between EEP and AP in this regard is that the EEP credits are guaranteed. Okay, so I'm going to try to keep the rest of this video very short and concise because, as I said, my purpose is to get you to enroll. And it'll be a step-by-step sheet that we will be sending you through your on-site at the school that'll help you create a MyRIC account, and that's the first step. By the way, an on-site is a staff member at your school, whether it's a teacher or a guidance counselor, who will be responsible for all the communication between our office and your high school. And that person will be designated at some point to you in your school. They're the person, they're your point person, and they're the ones who will be communicating with me and the other associates at our office. So the on-site will be providing you with a couple of forms that are important. And the first is the creating the MyRIC account. You'll be getting this probably in an attachment in an email this year. And it's a step-by-step. You go online and you create a formal Rhode Island College account for yourself. and it'll put you in our system so that eventually we can register you. Now, as I said, this is a formal account. So you're going to go online and fill out the forms. And there are some things I think you really need to keep in mind. The goal of this, by the way, is to get a 7-digit ID. So once you've completed the account and you've submitted, you'll get a 7-digit ID in an email within 24 to 48 hours. And that's the most important thing you need. If it talks about email addresses or anything else, don't worry about that. Find the 7-digit ID in the communication. Make sure you write it down, save it in your phone, even put it into a folder that you might want to create for everything EEP so that you can keep all of this materials together. You may need them later on. And again, I'll mention something about that at the end. So the goal of creating a MyRIC account is to get a 7-digit ID. By the way, those of you who have already taken EEP classes, you don't need to do that. You have a 7-digit ID. That's the only one you'll ever have here at RIC. And your former teachers for EEP would have that 7-digit ID if you've forgotten it or don't have it written down somewhere. They'd have it on rosters from last year, class rosters, or even grade sheets. So you might check with them. Even the on-site might have a list of the 7-digit IDs for you. You do not have to create a RIC account if you've already taken EEP classes. You're already in our system. Creating a MyRIC account is for the students who are doing EEP for the first time. Now, as you're providing the information and the data in that online form for your RIC account, one of the things you need to do is remember, it's a formal account. It's something that will be there for the rest of your life, really. As long as the university is there, you can access information, or information will be accessed. It's a formal account. So make sure that you treat it that way. It's not as if you were texting a friend or an adult and you are being informal. You want to use a formal name. You want to use upper and lowercase letters in your name and your address. All of those things are important. No nicknames. Use your formal name because your transcripts eventually would be generated with that name. So you don't want a nickname on there. A lot of times now, because of everything being stored on our PCs at home, there's an autofill, which you'll want to turn off when you're creating your MyRIC account. Because we've had many instances where your parents' information is being autofilled into that account, and then you submit, and then you have to contact the school. We have to change it, and it's just a lot of unnecessary extra work. So be sure to turn off the autofill. There is a section which might require you to choose a suffix. 99% of you will not use a suffix on the end of your name. Unless you're a William II or the third, unless you're a junior. Otherwise, just ignore that, leave it blank. Very often we get students who choose the suffix because they don't know what it really is, and they choose an ESQ period, which of course is short for Esquire and indicates that the person filling out the account is a lawyer. I don't think any of the lawyers in the state want to be taking classes at Rhode Island College for EEP. They have already got a degree. So once again, just do not bother using the pull down unless you are a second, a third, or a junior. And you want that in your formal account. Okay, there is at the very end of the form, and by the way, while you're creating this account, I suggest highly you do it on a PC. Doing it on a phone creates a whole host of problems. Even though your eyesight may be wonderful, navigating it on a phone is very, very different. Try to do this on a PC. We've found that there are difficulties when students are trying to create a MyRIC account on a phone. The last thing is, when you get to the end of it, of filling out the account, there's a section that says, I want to take a course. And at that point, you're going to choose from a pull down, choose in my high school. That's why we say the EEP classes, the concurrent enrollment classes, are in the high school. So that's what you'll choose. Okay, just keep that in mind as you're filling out the account, that you're going to choose in my high school EEP. Okay, so once you have created this account and you submit it, as I said, within 24 to 48 hours, you'll probably get an email that will have the 7-digit ID, and that's the most important feature you'll need for the next step. Your on-sites will also be sending you the school enrollment form. So each one of our 52 schools has its own enrollment form. And with the classes that are, the EEP classes that are offered at that particular school. And it looks sort of like this. And it's hard. I know that you're seeing this because I'm doing this on my phone actually. But you'll note the most important information here, of course, is your name. And right on the right side of it, your ID. And also, you'll be filling in your year of graduation. That is an important feature of filling out this form. Without the ID and your year of graduation, we cannot complete your registration. And then as you read down, of course, you'll have a signature and a date, and then you'll check off the classes, a list of classes for your school, and you'll just tick off whichever class you are enrolling in or you want to be enrolled in. By the way, one of the things that I should have mentioned with the creating the MyRIC account, you will have to provide your Social Security number. That is a government law. The government requires us to report Social Security numbers for all college attendees. So if you don't have one, there is a box there, and you can check that I do not have a Social Security number. And that doesn't apply to many people. So you won't put your Social Security number on the enrollment form, but it will be in your MyRIC account. Okay, so as I said, you create a MyRIC account, you get a 7-digit ID, you'll take your enrollment form, you'll fill that out, check off the class that you're going to be taking. Please do this within as soon as you can, especially this year, because I think your teachers are going to be collecting these through email, and then they have to get them all into us. So don't even give yourself more than a couple of days for this. Usually when it's in a school, we give a week or so, but we'll need you to get this information to us right at the beginning of September, no later than the middle of September, because we want to get you enrolled in the class that you've already started taking. Now, I've said any materials that you get for EEP, create a folder. If you get if you get anything at all, create a folder. Besides saving it on a phone, you might want to write it down right on the cover of your folder, whatever your 7-digit ID is. Any handouts, maybe copies of the stuff that you've filled out, put them in the folder. And then also, your teachers will be giving you a transcript for the class. Not transcript. They'll be giving you a syllabus for the class. And you want to save the syllabus. Because lately, when students are looking to have their transferable credits applied to their college program, the colleges are also asking to see the syllabus. So it's a good thing to have a copy of the syllabus that you can provide to them at that time if they require it. Okay, now the Rhode Island public school kids are all set as far as the cost of taking these classes right now for this year. And if there are any changes in the future, we'll let students know. Otherwise, if you're a Massachusetts or a private school student, you're paying $65 a credit for your classes. So a 3-credit class would be $195, and a 4-credit class would be $260, which is a far cry from the couple of thousands of dollars that you'd be spending if you were taking the class at RIC itself. So it's still a very, very good deal to have those 3 or 4 transferable credits. The instructions for filling out the checks and anything else are on the bottom of your enrollment form after you've checked off the class that you wanted. Just please follow the instructions very, very closely. We will be enrolling you at our office. You do not do this on your own. You're sending us an enrollment form through your teachers or through your on-sites. We do all of the enrollment at the office. So you can't go online and register for the class. So just understand that that's why you take care of all the paperwork. And that's it, really. Once you've started the class, do as well as you can. Do the best you can, because you are going to be given a transcript at the end of this year. We'll have one on file that you will have to disclose to any college that you're applying to, on any college app. It'll ask if you've taken a college course, and you can explain that you took the EEP class. You have to disclose anything, including the grade. So you want to do as well as you can. And by the way, once you are enrolled in the class, you own that grade at the end of the year. There is no way to have it erased. So if you got a D or an F, that is a bad way to start your post-secondary education. So make sure you own that grade. Do as well as you can. There are no dropping the classes either. Once we've got you in the system and you're enrolled, you cannot drop the class unless you are leaving the school and moving to another address. You cannot physically any longer be in that class. If you had a big schedule change, then you're out of the class. Then obviously we can withdraw you from the class. But otherwise, you're making a commitment. That signature that you're putting on the enrollment form is a commitment. So make sure you do as well as you can, and you'll be rewarded at the end. And if you'd like to know a list of the colleges, and there are quite a number of colleges and universities throughout the country that accept EEP credit, you can go onto our homepage at Rhode Island College, and in the search box type in EEP, and it'll bring you to our part of the site. And the list of colleges is there, along with all the other information about the early enrollment program that I don't have time to list here. And as I said in the second video, you'll hear more about this. Now, there's one other thing, and this is really the teachers who are watching this. I hope you'll listen to this, because students are going to want this information. One of the most common requests we get is for transcripts. We do not send out your transcripts. You don't call us for that. You don't call records at the college for the transcripts. It's under your control. You go on our homepage, in the search box, you type in transcripts, and you follow the link to an online form, which you fill out, and you order your own transcripts. You can have them sent to 10 different places at once. We always suggest that you have one sent to yourself as well, so that you know that when you receive your copy, that the request has been filled, and you'll know that your transcripts have been sent to the other school that you requested. So I'm saying this especially for teachers, because teachers will recall this at the end of the year, and when you ask them, hopefully will remember that it's very, very simple. You just go right online and you can order your own transcripts. And with that, I wish you good luck. Please feel free to contact our office with any problems. And again, you can do that through the website and through email. We are eep@ric.edu. Again, my name's Al Pannone, and I'm wishing you a very productive and safe year. Thank you.